Hello everybody, it's me, Dave Subjects here, and today we'll be doing the world's greatest game ever, Stanley Parable. And yes, I have played Stanley Parable before. Please adjust the slider until the computer is already barely visible or something like that. Okay, I think that's good. Or maybe like have it brighter. There we go. Confirm. My current time is it's not the most preferable time to play. So hold on, I need to check my phone. Yeah, okay. I'm playing around that time. Around... Confirm. There we go. Note. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Okay, I already know that. Oh wow, I know I never played it with my channel. Jeez, is this like familiar, but just with an extra title. Okay, let's get straight into the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Bro.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Wow.
Stanley was happy.
That's nice.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I hate on days, or I think it just says Mondays, like 427. I love whenever the date came out. The day it came out. Okay. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yep, that glitch is still... Well, it's not much of a glitch, it's built in. But I don't know if I want to get that first ending. I want to see what else is here. Wait, oh.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah, the mug did say, I hate Mondays. Who farted? Who the heck would want that in a mug? Like, jeez. Hashtag #1 dad. Probably a guy in his mid-50s, or my guess would be mid-40s, late 40s, depending around that age. I like work. I just hate my boss. Does that say smile or something like that? I can't read it, but it just says mile. Well, it says smile, of course.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Come on. 50 clicks.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, where's that? $417. Where's 417? What the heck is 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. I can't believe this is going to be the first thing that I'm going to be doing. Oh, here it is.
Now, back to door number 437.
Jeez, this is annoying. I forgot how much tasks were in this thing. Can't sprint. 437, he said.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I
Yeah.
like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416. 416. 416. Where the heck is 416? 416.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Jeez. Jeez Louise, why is he going so crazy?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 4. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few
Thanks.
minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Tell me about it. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. This guy seems really trustworthy. I always love
Yet
the
there was
narrator.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, Targets. We're finding for R plus D of new coffee machines. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Get Chris out. Move my desk. Not cost efficient. Okay. That's funny. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay. I like broom closets.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Cactus. Okay, let's just listen to him. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, is it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Who wrote this out of poop on the wall? Dang, I look good. Alright, this is nothing here. Just take a seat. Darn, I can't take a seat. Oh, pencils.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number.
Okay.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Oh, look it, that's the tag of the original Stanley Parable. Okay. Nothing really seems different from the game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I could have swore there wasn't sparks originally. What does this lead to?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nah. I want to see this. There's a red button going.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Okay, so maybe this is different.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Okay, it seems like there's nothing really new to this.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nah.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Okay. So it's just the boss's office or something like that? Again? Nothing's different. I can't click it back anymore.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
Wow.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Wait, no. Oh my gosh.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing... Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
All right. Well, oh, okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope. I don't feel like it. I'm gonna go back up. Maybe there's a secret. Oh, he's not saying anything.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Okay.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started.
Oh, a freaking
Where's
fly
the
flew on
tension?
my hand.
Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why,
I'm an
though I didn't
influencer.
know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here.
What the heck? I was just so distracted with what he was saying. Trying not to
Okay,
have this
the
fly
room where we're
flying me.
holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How he did it. The pyramids. Live. The guy who went to Mars. Live on stage. All eyes on Stanley. 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 Evening with the world's peace, baby. Alright.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
That was a Minecraft sounding door. That sounded like a Minecraft door for some reason to me. The Stanley Parable Stanley. Tonight. Live on stage. It's like flyers on the wall. What the heck? I'm able to go through the table. How does this make sense? I'm going through the table. Must be a bug or something like that. Can I go anywhere else? Okay. Doing great. Conversation with Alexander the Great.
All right, are you
Stay.
ready?
Welcome,
I've
Stanley.
told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Oh, I like work. I just hate my boss. That's what it says. Stanley, me. Dad? Date? Who's that? Stanley, me. It sounds like. Oh, he's age 6. That explains everything. Sorry. Break a leg, champ. Your boss. I never met my boss. I love the way you ride the elevator. Like, elevators in general. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on the stage. Rock on, or something like that. Wait, why is there 2 break legs? Okay. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your coworkers. 427. Wish you were here. Freedom ending. Oh, that's the freedom ending. Adventure awaits. I played the demo. Mind control faculty. Narrator Airlines. Official. Apparently this guy has his own airlines. What's in here? Up again and up again, down again. The Stanley story. Okay. The dude who came up with pizza. So this is obviously new. Oh. Okay. Hello. I'm deaf. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bruh. I was wondering if I saw something like that. Is there anything else? No. Oh. But awaits. I hate Mondays.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Coffee nut.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I'm in. Right here.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Jeez, that's mean. I'm just enjoying the lounge.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Just get to relax, sit back, and enjoy the whole entire overall feeling being alone. Well, yeah, I think I'm done here.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yes.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley? All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
All right.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh. Good old Neil. Ouch. 7 hours.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
All
You
right.
wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I can't handle this.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes.
Yeah, everything
this
seems
seems
exactly
like
the
it'll
same.
work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
This ain't
Well,
right.
it seems obvious to me that
Jeez,
you are meant
this
to
is a
play as
different
a
game.
creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Alright. I don't know why the doors have the sound of Minecraft. Wrong side. Honestly, I don't know this game. I bet somebody's gonna say, "You absolute nerd. How could you not remember this game?"
Oh no. No, it can't be.
It actually looks
It
nice.
is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Darn
You
it.
really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Okay.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what
It's
I
Rocket
had in
League.
mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must.
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds
Stanley,
good.
here's the ball. Have fun.
Jeez. Haha.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh, jeez.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Wait, oh, freak. Oh, what the heck? I'm actually genuinely terrified. Oh man, I fell again. Falling in, I can't get up. Okay. This is starting to turn into a horror game. It's like the back rooms over here. Wait a second. This is the original Stanley Parable. Oh, wow. There's just this single bit of light. 427. It's my office. There's a lot more creepier. Okay, the whole screen
I
went
wonder
black.
what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
All right.
I can wait.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Something's different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. New content. Looks pretty fine.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Guess we're gonna have to find it. Oh, freak. Oh. Into the abyss we go.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Nice.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe
Content.
features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
All right. Sounds good.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah, sounds good. We're gonna go.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
All right. Jump circle?
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I think it's stupid. What's over here?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I
Yeah.
could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
All right, okay. Ooh, what's this? Is this gonna be a new office building? Thank you for enjoying
That's
this new
it?
content.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Yeah.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
All right.
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
All right. Oh, I'm gonna check.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Sure you do. What is this? Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
This just looks like the other office, so
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
yeah, you thought, boy. Ow. I broke my spine.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa. Portal looks weird. What's happening here? Fax machine.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's actually not supposed to be a thing for the Stanley Parable. He just put Stanley Parable over this mask thing. Ooh. I think that's a thing from a history museum or something like that. Remember? Who's that? What does this say? The memories, a temple or something like that. The original remake. Oh, I remember that. Good times. Stanley Parable. Actually, for some reason, I remember this type of screen. It was the demo version, yeah. It says it right there. A trip down memory lane. My lucky first dollar. Smile because it happens. Or because it happened, yeah. Stanley Parable alpha test. I don't know who the heck that is. There's a chef. There's a shelf on the shelf. There's a shelf on the shelf. I just realized. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Okay. New video game re-released today. Releasing today. The New York Times. This never even happened. 50% off designer hats, but a small creature owns the other half. Okay. Alright. Oh, it has that face, so it might be actually, yeah. Something that Stanley Parable even got. Los Angeles Times. Ah, yes. Collapsed me right next to that weird lady. Ah, nice, beautiful.
Je suis dans la
Stuff.
mémorisation, seul sur la pluie des loups, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
The
C'est
memory
là,
of Little Stanley.
dans la mémorisation,
Little
je
Stanley.
me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour.
Playing the piano.
Mais ici, c'est aussi où je me souviens de la sortie de The Stanley Parable.
Sounds French, but I don't know if it is French.
C'était en 2013, un très bon jeu vidéo. 2 mois après, les journaux, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
That's depressing. Buttons. Darn it. Person of the year. Stanley. I don't know who that handsome person is in that picture right now. Oh. Map design. Yes, a memory of the map design. The on and off buttons. Yeah, this looks pretty good.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Well, it's always nice to have at least some new content. Oh, okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I want to go back. Freak. Okay.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Wow. Jeez.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
Hey, look at this is a good
What an
comment.
awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
No,
Like
you're
I let
not.
these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the
is
record.
happening?
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. What the? How to... Okay.
And here it is.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Okay.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused.
Oh, okay.
No, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Jeez.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yeah.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go?
Maybe if I
Can you
skip
maybe
ahead.
just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing.
Well, I have been saying something.
That it's
just in my head.
Exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley, not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me.
Hello? Narrator? You there? Oh geez, the clock. It's fallen and it can't get up.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes!
Man.
Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me.
You're right.
Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison, perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down.
Probably.
This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish.
Oh.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Okay.
But where are the jokes?
What's that sound? I hear like a little... Oh. Oh, it's a puddle. Jeez, what's happening here? Narrator's gone. Again.
The end is never the end, 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 is...
Okay. Oh, man. Pipes are breaking. Oh, jeez. It's all soggy on the ground now. Oh, jeez, it's bright. Rust and everything. So I look at it, looks like Portal 2 almost. I think these are Portal 2 models. Oh jeez. It's beautiful. Finally. Can I escape now? Okay. Okay. Tad bit horrified. Okay. Narrator. What the? What the heck? Looks like there's something in the distance over there. Oh. Everything's back to normal.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Wow.
he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. New content. Okay.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, show me. Okay, after that whole entire new and same exact intro, finally we're here.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be.
Yeah.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget
Yeah.
this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a
427.
measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yes, finally. Stanley Parable 2. Now, when is it? Is this like just a release where it's just saying the Stanley Parable 2 is gonna come out? I don't know. Seems like
Calling
there's
it
new
the Stanley
assets.
Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yeah.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Honestly, this actually looks like a more newer office. Like if you
Now, to be
were to,
clear,
oh,
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
all right. Let's get going. Let's go check what it looks like. Wow. Alright.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Okay. Reassurance bucket. Okay. No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
This one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Bruh. I wanted the other balloon.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Oh, there's another room in the back of here. Infinite hole chart. Depth. Space. Hole. Question mark. Question. Science. More. It doesn't make any sense. Hole entrance. Infinity. It's like a wormhole, but it doesn't. It's not even connected to anything else. It just keeps going. Wow.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh, man.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh, well, I'm able to move.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Okay, act like I'm sliding. Whoa.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the
What do you
infinite
mean?
nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one
jeez.
perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh, jeez.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole.
is this
You
substance?
found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Oh, that's true.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe
mug.
you're the problem.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If
Okay.
that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You
What?
have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the
short.
hole seem even shorter to you this
Cigarettes
time?
now.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Boop.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Whoop.
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my life. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try
Darn
it
it.
again. Still nothing?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't
kidding?
bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
Don't leave me.
Take care, Stanley.
No.
I hope you and the hole
Come
have
back.
a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I'm just gonna go to bed. Time moves faster to sleep. What was that? What the? What the heck? Oh man. Someone help me. I'm sinking. What the?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head.
What the? Oh jeez. What the? Oh jeez. Oh jeez, what the heck? What the?
Stanley? Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Okay.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Did he just say Toodlepip? Oh jeez. Not again. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm back.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
A button that says my name. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Hi, my name is Jim.
I want you to imagine your... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
It is just a
Okay,
stupid
we're doing
button.
it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get
Yes.
out of here.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only
Jim.
played along,
Jim.
that would have been
Jim.
your name
Jim.
the button
Jim.
says. But
Jim.
no.
Jim.
Instead,
Jim. Jim.
I can't
Jim.
even think
Jim.
about it.
Jim.
I'm taking the Jim
Jim.
button away.
Jim.
No.
Jim.
Jim.
Jim. Jim. Jim. Jim. Jim.
It just went to the ground. Okay. Darn it, there's no more Jim button.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Okay. So I need to press the right key in order to go over here. Nah. Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in
no-
those who played it.
There's
Well,
nothing there.
I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Okay,
You
that's
may
pretty cool.
even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh wow. Jeez.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
What the heck? I'm able to
The
just...
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
like, whenever I hold the right and the left mouse button, it makes me just walk without even having to press a key. The heck?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Yeah. Is there anything else that I could do with... What is this? The heck? That's new, that's new, that's new. Collect them all. Wow, what is this?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I
What is
don't
that?
want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, jeez. Well, I got one of them. Oh. Can't go back.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah. Oh, what's this?
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Whoa, yeah. It's fun. For a couple of minutes and then it just gets boring. Actually, not even a couple of minutes, it's just a couple of seconds. Ooh, merchandise. Ooh, what's this? Gonna take the QR code. See what this is. Come on. What is this? Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2. Sequel, huh? Oh, and it's just it literally is just a website. That's it. Like a fake. It looks like a real website, but I think it's just a fake one. I wish actually they had this type of merchandise. Imagine getting this print on a t-shirt. Be very nice. I'll just let the pleasure bucket guide me. Reassurance bucket. It's not the pleasure bucket. Oh wow, a free, new, plus easy achievement. Pretty sure that's about it, right? Because I don't see a lot of stuff anywhere.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well,
Kinda.
I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I'm disappointed in you. Okay, there's this map. Jump circle, this map, yeah. Free achievement, done that. The button that says gym, merchandise, hashtag settings, world champion. What is hashtag? So hashtag, I am right here right now. Hashtag's just right over around here. Setting world achievements. What is that? I think it's just over here, right? That's it. Yeah, there's nothing around here. Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Yeah, I got that. Official decorations. 3. Wait a second. Hashtag is a door. Okay, official decorations. Epilogue. Collectibles. Infinite hole. Exit. A9. What is A9? So I'm reading it right here. Huh. Q is free achievement. Oh, that. What the heck? Collectibles. So that's the inside of the collectibles area? That's confusing. It's like there's multiple rooms in there. Now, after that, from there, the facility. I want to go to the epilogue really quickly before I leave. Because it seems like right there is where you leave the exit. So I'm going to go see the epilogue quickly. Also, there's this. Over here. Oh. Okay. Apparently there's nothing there. I can't do anything right there. So I only guess is that oh, here's an epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Well, I do say this is a very fine place we have here. Is there anything up here? Okay, it's the infinite hole, right? Yeah, okay. So we got everything done here.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah. Jeez, that's a big screen. Alright.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Hold on, let me get a seat.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it
Yeah.
is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh man, I'm excited. What is that?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Okay, it just looks
Who am I
horrible.
kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something
That's
up.
me.
All right, perfect.
That's pretty
Go
cool.
ahead. Take a look.
Okay, so. Oh wow, it's Stanley Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I don't want to do that. Okay, we're. Why is
All
there
of his
just balloons?
co-workers were gone.
It's
What
just
could it
balloons.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why is that blocking me there? I think I missed a computer over here.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yay! I have bucket. Yes. I actually wanna see this ending. Take me through.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
What the heck?
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
Why am I screaming?
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed
Hold on.
and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Die.
My God,
Oh,
Stanley,
jeez.
you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations
Why
to
is
summon their
the
true
red?
power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless.
Why is there so much jam
You've
up
demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never
Lots of jelly
again
right
go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Okay.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
What is that? Don't know what that is right there.
You found one of them. One of the
Oh,
miniature
it's one of the
Stanley
collectibles.
figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't
okay.
buy that sort of happiness, Stanley.
All right.
God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Alright. Keeps on feeling like I'm seeing something. Oh, for real. What's this?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Jeez.
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel
every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
Throw it away.
I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Camporada. Alright, buddy. Is he okay? Is he dead? Okay, resets again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting today. Figurines Finder Committee.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Wait a second. Oh, just ain't right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, jeez. There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Stop kidding yourself. I want them so much. I want to go home. Oh, it looks like 247. I mean 427. Ha ha ha. 5 there will be just 5 there be. Just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. Guy's scratching his head. Is this some kind of game? Where must be the point to this? Trust the completionist instinct. Red room. Thank you, good luck. What is this? Stairs, something to do with stairs. We're both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace. A private but smelly place for an important person. I don't know. Yes, a broom closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Oh, jeez.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Should I go this ending?
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
It's a stupid name. Nah, I don't think I should go in that. No. Oh, jeez. Wait. This room is never ever able to... Oh. Alright, where am I going? This is Stanley. Is that the narrator saying Stanley? Something like that? Jeez, how long is this elevator? song. I can't handle this. Let me out. What?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I don't know. They just figurines? Or Stillerines? Or Sterns? Sterns. Dream
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Man, the bucket's guiding
Everything
me.
will be fine.
Oh, jeez.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh. Bucket's guiding me. Can't actually...
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Well, darn it, I'm dead. No.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Let me
To
out.
be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell,
jeez.
Stanley.
Oh, no.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Ha! Stupid bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
How?
It was a glorious bucket to behold.
No, it wasn't. Just a stupid bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life? No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, wow. I got the bucket. I was gonna, like, try to jump.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
The bucket and Stanley died. Stupid.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What do you mean?
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay.
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wagon line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Classic music. Where am I? Where am I? Oh man, I broke the game, didn't I? Broke the game. I found the first bug. The first ever glitch in the game. I am the first ever person to find the first bug in the first game. Wow. I didn't even try. I am trapped down here forever. Well, time to...
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Yep.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes. It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Give what up? I'll give anything up to have the good classical days, to be honest.
Don't you get it, Stanley?
What?
We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
It
Surely you
destroys
don't need me to
buckets.
spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Okay. Goodbye, Bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh man, he's dead. Poor Bucket Crusher.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
May you rest in peace. At most.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Huh. Something just ain't right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Yeah.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Ah, yes. Finally able to enjoy some...
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you
Darn
think
it.
it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
No, I know what a
suppose that
bucket
would
is.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
Okay.
This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Okay.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is
Okay.
and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here
okay.
for a moment.
What's this? Oh. Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right?
Yeah,
this
sure.
should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I know.
Item 3.
Now that's a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
That has to be a bucket.
Correct.
How did I know?
This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
It's not a bucket.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Now that's a bucket. That has to be a bucket. That's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6.
Darn it, that's not a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
It's not a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Darn it.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
It's not a bucket.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Wait.
But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game
Who's that?
entirely. Okay, here we go.
Who are you? What the heck was that?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could...
Who was that?
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley,
You're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Well, everything's a
All of
bucket.
his
I saw
co-workers
this
were...
random guy
Wait,
up there.
no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What does he mean by this can't be right? It's Stanley. Is this Stanley's office?
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Strange.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
That sound. Hey, wait! It's completely different. Some were both red and blue. A private but smelly place for an important person. Huh.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ah, it's the collectibles that we're searching for. Something smelly for, like, someplace smelly for an important person.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Okay, cool.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
It's not figlet and murines, or whatever you're freaking saying. It's figurines. Back in there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'm just gonna try to see about the good ending or something like that.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Buten.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Buten.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
What's that?
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
42. Is it 427? Is that my office? 427. Employee 427. That's me. Right there. Yeah, that's my room.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced
Fire.
furiously in
Fire.
Stanley's feeble mind.
Wait a second. Is that room also my room? Private. That one's the only one that says private, right? But it's also my room. Yeah, it's also my room. Why is there... And there's a red carpeted room? What the heck is all this? Actually, I never took the time to look at
He
this.
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His
There's
own
two.
life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
What? Wait, there's
What?
another house
Wait.
right there.
What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket,
Darn it.
needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No.
Oh, jeez.
Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to
Darn
say
it.
about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries?
Alright.
Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Actually, I want to go back to one of the endings. Because there's a certain ending.
When Stanley came to
The
a set
bucket.
of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
Guess so.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I know it's my wife.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Yeah.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Come on, new games. More.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, we're here.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
We're awkward.
Well, it seems
trying
obvious to
survive.
me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Minecraft sounding door, of course. I could tell this game needs a lot of updates.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Okay.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Alright.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's
I don't know.
There are
Maybe
lots of cars here in the back, but obviously
ball.
there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Okay, cool. Hey, look at... It's a Ukrainian flag.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh, jeez. Actually, I do want to try Rocket League. I'm gonna try some Rocket League.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Yes.
Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much, but who knows? You're an inventive kid, you'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Don't know what pulled his strings. So is there really anything I'm gonna run all the way over there, and if he doesn't come back, then I'm just gonna jump off the edge. Well, this kind of sucks.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay, it seems like they changed the whole entire games. There's no other games after which. And then it cuts off right now. Boom.
I wonder what he found.
I wonder
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's
blah, blah,
gotten
blah.
it.
You get the whole thing.
Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Yeah, I'm
and if
happy.
he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
But the end is never the end. Right? Okay, load. Right, but now. There we go. And, well, oh, what the?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figlets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
No.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles. You could easily just say the collectibles.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent.
Oh, this creepy area.
We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What? Apparently 7 now? Okay. Ooh, boxes.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Thanks.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember? Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figly in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Okay.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the boss's bathroom. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one
like
is
Half-Life.
particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Well, I did it. I found them all.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Okay.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the Final Figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Okay. Oh, just goes there anyways.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Okay, well,
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
okay, now I already have
I
13.
must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Okay, that is actually kind of funny. And still, this pink room doesn't make sense.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Yeah.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley.
Hello.
I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Came before it. The jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A
yes.
Classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, comment down below for more content like this. If you want me to keep doing some more Stanley Parable, I don't even know how much left there is. There's probably a lot more, so it's already been a couple hours. This video is gonna be freaking long, so hope you enjoyed it. Just like and subscribe. That's it. Goodbye.